Okay, so we have here your laboratory activity for the anti-globulin test. So anti-globulin test, other name for that is your Combs test. So we have two types of your anti-globulin test. One is your DAT or your direct anti-globulin test that would detect your in vivo sensitization or the sensitization or the binding of your antibody with your RBC or your immunoglobulin in the form of your IgG antibody or your complement with the RBC. And the indirect antiglobulin test would detect the in vitro sensitization, where you try to carry here the attachment of your immunoglobulin and the RBC membrane outside the body of the patient in the test tube. So we have here the procedure for your direct antiglobulin test. So direct antiglobulin test would detect again the in vivo sensitization. Nagkaroon siya ng in vivo sensitization is because here the patient has an antibody sa kanyang katawan. Then like for example, you try to transfuse a blood. Ang blood ni donor, ang RBC membrane niya may antigen corresponding to the patient's antibody. So that would result here to the in vivo sensitization. Or another one, the case of your hemolytic disease, the newborn, wherein ang mother may anti-RHD antibody. Tapos si baby is meron siyang RHD positive na red cells. And therefore, nagkakaroon ng binding ang antibody ni mother sa red cell ni baby. And that result here to your in vivo sensitization. So, for us then to detect that one, so itong test na ipiperform natin. So procedure for the direct antiglobulin test, first you need to prepare here your two tubes. Okay, then, add here 2 drops of your anticoagulated blood. So you extract blood coming from the patient. You try to put that one in the EDTA. And we are assuming here that the red cells of the patient has already an antibody or has already an immunoglobulin. Anong immunoglobulin? IgG or even a complement which has already sensitized sa kanyang red cells. So, after that one, saline washing for 3 times. Make sure here that the last wash has been completely decanted. That would prevent because of course here that would remove your unbound na mga immunoglobulin because kung hindi siya natin na completely decanted, the presence of your unbound immunoglobulin would tend to neutralize your anti-human globulin activity na reagent and that result here to your false negative reaction. After 3 times saline washing here, last wash is completely decanted. After that one, you try to add here 2 drops of your anti-human globulin. Okay, then try to centrifuge 3,400 RPM for 15 seconds. And after that one, try to dislodge your button here and try to observe kung may agglutination reaction or wala. Pag wala siyang agglutination reaction, you need to check for that by addition of your check cell. Okay, our check cell here is your O positive na cells na meron siyang may antibody na nakasensitize sa kanya. I mean, ito si parang positive cells natin ito. So, dapat pag di ba, kanina negative siya, so i-check natin kung talagang negative or hindi. So, maglalagay ka nito. This one is your positive control. So, dapat pag naglagay ka nito, since positive control ito, dapat after centrifugation, upon addition of your Combs check cells, dapat meron na siyang agglutination reaction. Pag walang agglutination reaction, what would be the reason for that? Number one, baka hindi ka nag-add ng anti-human globulin reagent. Kaya kahit meron ka ng mga red cells na kasensitize na antibody, kung wala ka naman anti-human globulin, wala magko-crosslink na ating mga red cells. And therefore, hindi siya mag-cause ng or magproduce ng agglutination reaction visible by our naked eye. Okay, another one is maybe because of the neutralization, okay, of your reagents. Okay, now we have here your indirect antiglobulin test. This will be the procedure that we'll be doing. Indirect antiglobulin test is for detection of your in vitro sensitization of our immunoglobulin. We try to carry that one in our test tubes. This is also the method in order for us to confirm, for example here, mga weak RHD na patient. So, we are doing this anti-human globulin because the anti-human globulin reagent try to cross-link ang mga RBC natin na may nakasensitize na IgG antibody because remember that your immunoglobulin IgG Very small siya, so hindi niya kaya magkaroon ng agglutination reaction agad. So, kailangan mo muna ng dalawa na RBC. So, para makonect sa dalawa, that's why we are adding yung anti-globulin. That's the principle of your anti-globulin test. Okay, procedure for your indirect anti-globulin test. You're going to prepare here two test tubes. Label that one as your unknown or your patient's. And we have also here the NC or your negative control. For the unknown, so kailangan natin ng serum ni patient natin, 2 drops. Then 2 drops of your O red cell suspension. Gagawa ka ng red cell suspension coming from type O na patient. So usually 3 to 5%. So 5% ginagamit natin usually. Negative control. Okay, so 2 drops ng LISS. So kaya negative ito. Because wala itong patient's sample. Plus 2 drops of your O red cell suspension. With your tooth tube here, you try to mix that one, incubate at 37 degrees Celsius for 15 minutes to allow sensitization para mag-bind ng ating antibody. Kung may antibody ka dito, okay, with this one, so magbabind siya doon. Okay, then after that one, you try to centrifuge for 3,400 RPM for 15 seconds and try to dislodge the button and observe for agglutination reaction. So pag wala kang agglutination reaction, you proceed. Pero pag doon pa lang, okay, so pag may agglutination reaction na siya, doon pa lang. But most likely kasi hindi siya magkakaroon ng agglutination reaction on that. Because again, this is an IgG antibody. It could not detect a positive reaction with just an immediate spin. Okay, then after that one, you try to perform here saline washing for 3 times. And make sure ang last wash natin always na i-decant natin completely. Wala masyadong natitirang NSS sa ating supernatant. And after that one, you try to add 2 drops of your anti-human globulin to each of your tube. And then centrifuge mo ulit, observe for agglutination reaction. Okay, so pag may agglutination reaction, so positive. Pag wala, confirm natin by again addition of your check cell. Again, check cell is positive control. So dapat pag nag-add ka niyan, nito, okay, and then try to centrifuge, dapat magkakaroon na siya ng agglutination reaction. In a case wherein nag-add ka nito, nag-negative siya, so it might be may problem sa ating procedure. I mean to say you need to repeat your procedure. It might be hindi ka nag-add ng anti-human globulin or it might be hindi completely na-decant ang ating supernatant during your last wash. Our NSS for that and therefore nagkaroon ng neutralization. Bakit? Therefore, there's also here to your false negative reaction. Okay, so that's it for our Coombs test or anti-human globulin test.